Understanding the biblical perspective of Satan. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been on the minds of many: Satan. The Bible paints a fascinating picture of this figure, but surprisingly, it doesn't give us a specific look at how he appears. Instead, it emphasizes his role as an adversary and deceiver, focusing on what he does rather than how he looks. Understanding Satan's nature is essential for grasping the bigger picture of good versus evil in faith. So let's explore who Satan is, according to the Bible, and what this means for us. Satan's nature. To start, it's important to recognize that the Bible describes Satan as a spiritual being. This means he doesn't have a physical body that we can see or touch. In John 4:24, we learn that God is spirit, and by extension, so are spiritual beings like Satan. Because of this, Satan operates in a different realm. His influence is felt rather than seen. This spiritual nature allows him to engage with humanity in various ways: temptation, deceit, and manipulation. Rather than a physical presence we can easily identify, Satan works behind the scenes, manipulating circumstances and thoughts. This setup can be unsettling, but also empowers us to recognize his influence without fear, knowing that we too are spiritual beings capable of standing firm against that influence. No physical description. Interestingly enough, the Bible doesn't provide a detailed description of Satan's appearance. You won't find a verse that says he has this color skin or those particular features. Why? Well, focusing on his physical appearance would distract us from the real issue: his character and actions. The lack of a physical form in Scripture reminds us that what truly matters is who he is and what he does. Rather than getting tied up in images, we should be paying attention to his deceptive tactics. This helps us steer clear of falling into his traps. Deceptive nature. Satan's most striking quality is his deception. The Bible describes him as someone who can disguise himself and confuse people. In 2 Corinthians 11:14, it says, "Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light." This means he can make himself look good or appealing, leading us down the wrong path. Understanding this nature of deception is crucial. Satan isn't just going to show up in a scary, obvious way. Instead, he might come disguised as something that seems genuinely good or right, but ultimately leads us astray. Being aware of this allows us to be vigilant in our choices. Titles and roles. Throughout the Bible, Satan is referred to by various titles that highlight his roles and influence. He's called the devil, the evil one, and the accuser. Each title reveals a different aspect of his character and mission. For instance, as the accuser, he aims to bring doubt and guilt to our minds. Calling him the ruler of this world illustrates his influence in our lives and society at large. Recognizing these titles helps us understand his strategies and reminds us that he is opposed to God's goodness and plans for our lives. Popular depictions. While the Bible doesn't describe Satan's appearance, popular culture has taken it upon itself to create some vivid images. Many people envision him as a goat-like creature with horns, a tail, and a pitchfork. These depictions, influenced by folklore and art, often play into our fears, but don't reflect the biblical understanding. It's interesting how a figure meant to embody evil has been reduced to a caricature. These portrayals can give us an unrealistic idea of who Satan is. Instead of focusing on his appearance, we should be more concerned about his character and the impact of his actions in our lives. Focus on character. The Bible directs our attention towards Satan's character and what he does rather than how he looks. He's depicted as a tempter, a liar, and a deceiver. These roles underscore the harm he causes in our lives and the importance of being aware of his tactics. By focusing on character, we learn that our resistance shouldn't come from fear of a scary figure, but from understanding the manipulative ways he works. This knowledge empowers us to make better choices and rely on our spiritual strength to combat his temptations effectively. Examples of Satan's actions. The Bible provides examples of Satan's actions, depicting him as a roaring lion seeking someone to devour, 1 Peter 5:8, and as a thief who comes to kill and destroy, John 10:10. These descriptions highlight the active and destructive role he plays in the lives of people. Satan's ultimate fate. As we think about Satan's influence, it's important to mention his ultimate fate. Revelation 20:10 tells us that Satan will be cast into the lake of fire for eternity. This serves as a reminder that evil will not prevail, and there is hope for ultimate justice and victory. In summary, understanding Satan's true nature helps us navigate temptations and challenges in our lives. By focusing on his character rather than how he looks, we can protect ourselves from his deceptions. Let's remain vigilant and grounded in our beliefs, aware of the spiritual battles that shape our lives.